Well, let's go to Lexington, Kentucky and speak to Jay Bonafede. He's a spokesperson for the American Red Cross. Jay, thanks so much for joining us on TRT World. What are some of the
Thank you.
challenges that are now facing search and rescue teams in some parts of Kentucky?
Well, I think one of the biggest challenges right now for anyone is accessibility. It's even a challenge for us as the American Red Cross in terms of making sure we have shelters and food and water in the areas that are most affected, so that as these search and rescue teams do bring survivors, that we're able to get supplies, resources, personnel to the places that are needed. And unfortunately, as you can see on the screen, the rain is not done yet. It's still very cloudy here in Lexington right now, and there's a lot more rain expected over the next few days. So I think there's a lot to be thinking about and a lot to work through here as we try to help these people who are in need right now.
Yeah, and that's the really worrying concern is that the rain is going to continue for the next few days, affecting more and more people. For those who have already been affected and lost their homes or are being forced to evacuate, how are they being helped, not just by your organization, but by the state of Kentucky and even the federal government who has declared a disaster there?
Yeah, it's really good of you to point out that we have to work together as a community. A community disaster like this takes a community response. There is no one organization that can do everything that a community needs after a situation like this. So we are in constant coordination with other agencies, with local and state and federal officials to make sure that we're providing that most efficient and most effective response right now. Last night, in 16 Red Cross and partner-run shelters, there were over 550 people that spent the night. We expect that number to continue to grow. Obviously, we want to make sure we're there to provide emotional support. This has been a very tragic situation for this community, and make sure they have food, water available at these shelters. It's also going to get hot later this week, and so we're really going to encourage people to go to redcross.org or download our blood donor app, so that they know where those shelters are, so they have a place to go to maybe get out of that heat, to grab some water and try and hydrate as the weather changes a little bit and gets hotter later in the week.
And Jay, is the Red Cross expecting situations like these to worsen every year because of the climate crisis? And how's your organization preparing for such disasters?
We have seen a large number of large-scale disasters in recent years, and so we need to be prepared to respond. Even right now, while we're looking at what's happening here in Kentucky, we have similar situations in Missouri with flooding. We have wildfires in the western part of the United States and in California and the Pacific right now. So we need to continue to train our volunteers, to recruit volunteers. We ask anyone who wants to be able to come out and help in situations like this to go to redcross.org/volunteer and consider joining us. 90% of our workforce is volunteers. So we're going to just we need to rotate those folks so they don't get burned out. So we'd love to have people come in and become trained Red Cross volunteers as we prepare for those situations. The other thing is just trying to help communities prepare and encouraging folks on that Red Cross emergency app that I talked about earlier. There's preparedness tips, and we would just encourage communities to prepare for emergencies like this as much as possible, and individuals and families as well.
Jay, good luck to you and your team as you continue to help those in need in Kentucky. And thanks so much again for speaking to us.